Alright, so we're back, and we just finished Liam's loyalty mission, which I was a big fan of. Partially just the premise of it, the fact that there was a mission that filled that gap that felt like was quite notable, that we had commented a bit about before. That we have, obviously, the main quest missions on the big planets, and we'll run into random little side quests as we're there, but most of those feel pretty minor. And so there was just this middle ground that felt like we never had seen anything like that before. No missions that were smaller than a main quest mission, but still had their own unique locations. The one exception to that, maybe to a certain extent, being the Ket bases. But outside of that, really just felt like that was a big thing that Andromeda was missing. So for there to be a mission that did that thing, had a unique location for us to fight enemies and do other stuffs, was great. And then as for the mission itself, the specific stuff that we did with Liam, I mean, it spoke to Liam's personality a little bit, that he very much got in over his head and completely misunderstood the situation, and I mean, well, I guess eventually did kind of sort of resemble what he said it would, in that the people that he thought might have gotten captured did, in fact, get captured, but not exactly in the way that expected that to be the case. But, a good mission all around. Good mission all around. Let's see. We have... No! They failed. They failed. That was our level 18... Hold on. That was our level 18 team. I think that was a mission that I initiated just before we started the stream via the app. Okay, fortunately I did not get any negative traits from it, but I think for that reason, because I initiated it a while ago, I believe it has technically expired already. So oftentimes, if you do fail a mission, and that might actually be the first mission that we failed on stream, but usually when you do fail a mission, there's still enough time that if you initiate the mission relatively quickly after it first appeared, that you can still go back and try it again, basically. But that obviously was not the case here. Or was it? I mean, this is a nighttime mission, which does mean... Was this the one that we just tried to do? Because nighttime mission does mean that very team that just failed is going to be the best team for this. Maybe that was the mission that I'd sent them on just before the stream started. I don't recall, but they are the nighttime specialists. This is the team that just failed. They got a tiny sliver of XP, but not enough to be anything significant. Hopefully they succeed there. So obviously that is a gold mission, so the stakes are pretty high. And because it's a gold mission, despite that team being just level 18, which is, I mean, as you saw, they're still 85 or 84%. Not bad. But they could very well level up to 19, possibly, maybe even all the way up to 20 from finishing this if they do succeed. We have a tiny bit of stuff here. Just a couple of boxes. Really nothing of particular note there. We did pick up a lot of scrap materials that we could probably sell off here, all of our salvage. Which is worth, 1,000. Oh, don't sell that, though. Don't sell that, though. Okay. Let's double check. I think that looks fine to me. Okay. Great. I feel like after finishing Liam's loyalty mission, we probably should talk to Liam. I imagine he probably does have something to say about that. Probably. I hope he does. But granted, I just assumed he was there, but didn't actually double check. He is that? Wait, what? Liam? 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 It just says storage. Wait. Where is he? Where'd he go? Oh, he's over there with Jaw. Okay. Okay. He's hanging out with Jaw. Nope, that does not connect. There he is. So I hope he has some specific dialogue after finishing his loyalty mission.
Do all Angara snore, or just you?
Do all humans whimper in their sleep? Or just you?
Oh, okay. Fighting words, perhaps.
Hey, Pathfinder. Still passing that mess with Varan and Khaled. I made sure the Nexus data will be changed. Kesh is none too happy, but she can blame me. The important thing is we're all alive, I'm all in, and I'm doing things different now.
Okay, and then there's the question of, having finished Liam's loyalty mission, in Mass Effect 2, obviously there were huge implications for having done the loyalty mission or not. That has major effects on the rest of the game. Mass Effect 1, technically, although doesn't refer to them by name as loyalty missions, does have 2, arguably 3, loyalty missions, which are not for all squad mates. Okay, so the stream seemed to disconnect for a couple minutes there. I don't know exactly when it dropped out, but seems like we didn't lose it for too long. Basically, we talked to Liam, and he did in fact have some specific things to say about the loyalty mission that we just did, and so it's good to see that he did acknowledge it, said that Kesh was not very pleased with him, but ultimately he was safe, the people we rescued are safe, and so at the end of the day, that's what matters, and said that he also is going to change the way that he does things from now on, which got me saying, that kind of reminds me of loyalty missions in the other Mass Effect games, in which loyalty missions had implications long-term for the rest of the story. Mass Effect 1, loyalty missions not by name, but there actually are 2, arguably 3 of them. And for those ones, at least 1, if not 2 of them, do have some ramifications going forward with the story. Then Mass Effect 2, obviously, huge. It's a humongous component of the game, and therefore the consequences of doing or not doing the loyalty missions are huge. So there's that. And then Mass Effect 3, again, not by name, but each character of significance basically has their own. Is that going to also be the case, or is it just a matter of now being able to do the rank 6 abilities for characters that we've done the loyalty missions of? Because Liam, given how he said, like, oh, I'm gonna act differently now, that kind of implies that he might actually behave differently now, and if there is some kind of significant encounter later on in the game, maybe he acts one way that's gonna cause trouble if you don't finish the loyalty mission, but if you do finish the loyalty mission, then he has his act together, and therefore he is able to respond appropriately and effectively, and therefore he, good things happen. It might be the difference between Liam living or dying. Who knows? I don't, but those are things that can happen in previous Mass Effect games based on whether you have or have not done characters' loyalty missions, so I am intrigued, at the very least, to see if that's going to be something that happens in Andromeda as well. So hopefully, after the stream dropped out a bazillion times there, repeatedly, at least I was able to get that message across. Alright, so I guess we'll try going a little bit more here, and hopefully we don't run into any additional issues. But I will not lie when I say that I am, for that reason, because of the crashes, hesitant to undertake anything significant at the moment. Any emails? The brothers McCoy. From Nigel McCoy? Dear Pathfinder Ryder, my brother Dash was my best friend. Still pains me that he's gone, though we won't build the future here in Andromeda together. But knowing that our family pendants are united does my heart good. Oh, is this the person that we found the pendant for back on Eos a while back? When my wife and I settle here and start a family, our firstborn will carry my brother's name, and hopefully he or she will become my new best friend. My sincerest hopes accompany you and your team. Nigel. Well, that's sweet. A little bittersweet, but sweet as well. Okay, so now that we have done Liam's loyalty mission, we now know, like, this is odd, though. Liam is pointing your efforts toward his friend and fellow squadmate Jal, placing outposts and dealing with the Cowlet made Andromeda more stable for the initiative, but it'll be hard to make Helios a home for the Angaran resistance if the Angaran resistance falls into turmoil. Advance Jal's friend or foe mission. So the reason why this seems odd to me is because we obviously just did Liam's loyalty mission. Does he have multiple loyalty missions? Does he have multiple missions named after him that are Liam-centric, but one of them is a loyalty mission and one of them is similar but doesn't function in the same way? Because we've unlocked his rank 6 abilities, I believe all of his rank 6 abilities, or at least have the option of unlocking all of his rank 6 abilities from finishing that one loyalty mission. At least that was my understanding of it, unless it's like, doing that one means that half of them are now available to us, whereas you need to do this one to get the other half. Or, you know, the first one that we just completed has some potential long-term story ramifications, whereas this one has other potential ramifications. I mean, this clearly has ties to other things like Jal and the Angara. I suppose the previous loyalty mission did to a certain extent as well. But just not totally clear, given how we just did a loyalty mission for him, where exactly that puts us with this mission. But we do know. Let's see. Oh. I don't remember that. I had to talk to Sam for this. I mean, we are on the Tempest right now. We should probably do that, because I totally forgot this was a thing. But yeah, like, PB's secret project. This is one of the things that I was referring to previously, where we got the item for her, the remnant tech for her initially, so that she could begin her project, which at least initially felt like that was very minor, and so it kind of felt like, well, if this is all there is to a loyalty mission, then it's not all that significant, and felt pretty lacking. But it seems like it was perhaps just the first step in a multi-component quest, and that once we do this, once we follow up with her, then we will get a more substantive quest out of that. Okay. Yeah, we have... like, this also has Liam's name in it, but this one seems a little bit odd because this is kind of just a, I mean, very broad goal for the game as a whole that just so happens to have Liam's name on it for some reason. I mean, yes, he's on one occasion, kind of, a little bit more than one occasion, brought up the fact that, you know, he has interest in making sure that we get these outposts, sure, but that is our job. Like, that is just number one as Pathfinder. That is our job. Seems a little weird for that reason that is something that is apparently so closely to... okay, but this says loyalty mission. Okay, it actually does say. So these other things have their names on them for some reason, but it doesn't actually say loyalty mission. This doesn't even say loyalty mission. That surprises me. Again, I don't really remember this very well, so I don't have any opinion one way or the other. And for Cora, I mean, she's been very, very focused on the Asari arc. I mean, again, that is something that is also pretty central to the whole Andromeda initiative. So it just so happens to have Cora's name tacked onto the front of it, kind of like this does for Liam. And this is not a loyalty mission either, apparently. So in that case, I'm guessing that the ones that actually say loyalty mission, like this, are the ones that actually have unique locations for us to do a mission like the one that we just did for Liam. So that would happen for Vetra here, but the other ones either don't have that much involvement, they just require, you know, running around, scanning stuff, talking to people, or they take place on other major worlds that we are already going to be going to anyway. Right, before we forget, because I will forget, because I already forgot previously, let's go talk to Sam over here. Otherwise, I feel like that is going to be something that we just never end up doing because it is going to slip through the cracks. It's this side. Through here?
Pathfinder, I've retrieved actionable intel from the security vid of Spender.
What did you find?
Updating your system with the nav point.
Oh. It's pretty simple. Suspender was the guy on the Nexus who was, like, second in command? Under, name of the woman who currently eludes me, who we hate because her face is tired. But unfortunately is actually important. It's basically her second in command, but has been up to some shady deals. Didn't really remember that being tied so much directly to Drac. Again, that's kind of the theme for some of these things. It's like, why is your name on this mission? Broken Betrayal. Okay. Yeah, this was the... Well, I remember this one, but is this the same thing? Okay. Yeah, this is the one where there was a planet mentioned in security footage that we didn't know about where it was yet, so it was kind of... And Drac did take interest in it. I didn't remember that was tied to Spender, though. I didn't remember that was coming from the same mission. Okay. So that makes sense, especially because we've now learned of the place where the Krogan supposedly have set up shop. So presumably, those planets are one and the same. And that's therefore not a coincidence that it is now that we've learned of that planet, that Sam is saying, yes, I've figured out what the deal is there. With that Spender information. Okay, so, in which case, what is our next thing that we'd like to do here? Because we were thinking that perhaps we do go and do Vetra's mission now, although there's maybe something to be said for using these loyalty missions to mix things up a little bit in between going to the big planets. I do like trying to, not do all the same thing on the same planet over and over again repeatedly, and kind of keep it fresh by, there are a lot of things we want to do on the big planets, of course, but it feels like, if we spend 20 hours straight on one planet, then maybe that's not the best thing to do pacing-wise. What happens if we still click on this? I am kind of curious to see what happens, not gonna lie to you. But we probably shouldn't. Maybe we save and then see what... I feel like we might break the... Okay, well, granted, Wait. We exit. We save. Do you restart the mission from scratch? Do you go there and all the rooms are empty because you've already killed the enemies? Do you attempt to start the mission and the game says, Lids, what is this nonsense? You've already done this. Alright, I saved so we can go back. Okay, not available. Yeah. So, the third of those things, and probably the most logical of those things. So, that's good. That's probably a good thing. So we could go over to Vetra's loyalty mission now, which is over here. Originally, I was thinking perhaps we go and do Liam's loyalty mission, and then we do Vetra's loyalty mission, because I did not think that we were going to have those loyalty missions be as involved as they were, which is a good thing. But, I basically thought, we're just going to drop by, scan a planet, and then drop by and scan a planet over here, and then we're going to be done with all these missions, and then we move on to the big thing here with Eladin. But given how Vetra's mission is presumably roughly of the same significance as Liam's just was, this might be a good way to mix things up a little bit. So, if we're doing a lot of stuff on Eladin, we feel like we need a little bit of a break from that, we can then go to do Vetra's mission, or we can go back to Kadara and do some more exploration and side quests there, and if we get sick of that, then we can go over and do Vetra's mission. So I feel like just having the option to change the type of stuff we're doing is good. And we in general, have a lot of options right now, because we also could go to do the mission to find the Archon, or at least hunt down his ship. But as I said a little while ago, I think that is not something that I want to rush into, because in general, in previous Mass Effect games, when it has come to major or main quest missions of major plot significance, like the Vermeers, the Horizons, the I almost said Ket ships. No, Collector ship and Collector base, obviously, or Reaper IFF missions. The timing matters. And generally, you want to do a bunch of other stuff first to prepare yourself. Now, is that going to be the case here? But perhaps not. But just to play it safe, because we don't know what we're getting ourselves into, I feel like it is perhaps a good thing to do a fair bit. Not everything, but a fair bit of side material first, and that's another way that we can mix things up if we're getting all bogged down and doing things on other locations, like here at Eldon, which we're visiting for the first time now, or back at Kadara, or elsewhere.
Careful. Word is there's pirates all over this region.
You'd think they'd run out of people to steal from. Anomaly on sensors.
Okay. So, we should probably double check with the... Actually, we don't have a mission on Eldon officially, do we? We had a conversation of some significance about it. I'm almost positive this is directing us toward Eldon. Oh, no? No, it's not.
Deploying probe. Tracking a huge mineral deposit.
Okay. I mean, Eldon definitely will have stuff, but... Okay, let's see. So it's an asteroid. This ultra-dense asteroid contains a carbonaceous buildup around a metal core composed of an unknown alloy. It's highly likely it was part of an artificial structure centuries ago, random technology, or something entirely new, but also old. Okay, so let's work our way in, then out, and, well, we'll skip Eldon and finish with that, because that is obviously the place we're going to end up at the end.
Anomaly detected.
Okay. Grogorna. Let's see. Very little atmosphere, but it is unbelievably hot. The radiation of Zabre Sun, the Zabre Sun, keeps much of Grogorna molten at all times. Oceans of magma thwart all but the fiercest attempts at Why would you... How? How would you even attempt to explore this planet? Come anywhere near it and anything is melting. Unless you're just scanning it via satellite or something.
Deploying probe. Tracking
Looks like
a huge
minerals?
mineral
Yeah.
deposit.
Copper? It's just common though. Just a common metal, not a huge deal there. Okay. So there's the asteroid, we did that. Dubrachi?
Anomaly on sensors.
A large moon that is so unbelievably close to it that, again, I understand you need to put the stuff close to it so that it fits in the frame together. But yeah, no, this would be crashing into the planet in seconds if that moon were ever that close. It's way too close. Okay, let's see. So Dubrachi, very thick atmosphere, which if the other planet was really hot, I don't remember how much atmosphere that had, but this one with that thick of an atmosphere is definitely going to be really hot as well. Over 1,000 degrees Celsius. Dubrachi's nickel and cobalt surface defies the planet's intense heat to remain solid. Trace readings of element 0 are present, but difficult to pinpoint. I mean, if you want to give us element 0 with this scan, I am fine with that.
Deploying probe. I found something.
It's a crevice, or crevasse. This narrow canyon is startlingly deep. A river of magma rich with minerals runs at the base, and alien technology, possibly old Angaran facilities, lines the walls. How? It's 1,000+ degrees Celsius. How? This must be the source of the planet's element 0. Well, we apparently got experience and leveled up. So, it's not the first time we've leveled up by exploring, but we'll take it. Tier 5 research projects unlocked. Thought we already had some Tier 5 research projects. More Tier 5 research projects? Or is... Yeah, I don't know what to make of that. Okay. Interesting. Alright, so again, we're going to skip Eldon for the time being. We might also duck out for a second just to see if we want to spend our skill points and or check what the deal is with our, apparently, new research options. Okay, so this is H315. No atmosphere, but still extremely hot, even when it's way out. Far away from it. I mean, this must be an incredibly powerful star. H315's day is long enough, and its atmosphere thin enough, that its temperature can plummet at night. Okay, that makes sense with basically no atmosphere. At either extreme, it should be considered hazardous. Understandably. But nothing to scan. Nope. Okay. Before we head over to Eladin and get all caught up on that, let's take a second to just verify... What the heck? We got new research projects? Of the variety that I thought we already had? Got me a little confused. Are there completely new weapons that we just didn't have available to us before? I think we had all these before. I haven't seen anything new yet. No. No new stuff. I mean, I guess maybe that was weapons specifically, for Milky Way specifically. No, nothing new Milky Way. I mean, maybe it means... Hold on. No, it still goes up to... Oh, no, but we established, yeah, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and if you get 5 here, it opens up the new category that goes all the way up to 10, so it's not as if we're getting a new tier there. You know, admittedly, I've not spent nearly as much time looking at the weapons of other varieties, so I have a much worse sense as to whether any of these are new. Basically just know some based on what we've found from drops. That's about it. So yeah, I'm not sure. Like, maybe some of this stuff is new. Pretty sure we still had the Ket armor of some variety, at least. Does this even tell us what are the stats in this? Power damage, weapon damage. I don't remember seeing this. So it looks kind of like some of the starting gear that we got, which apparently might have been from a DLC or the Ultimate Pack or whatever. I don't know. I just got whatever version of Andromeda was on Steam. So this is pretty generic. Power damage, meaning both tech and biotic, which is kind of nice. I imagine that number is probably lower than you'd get from other gear, but the benefit is that it affects more things, and weapon damage, so basically you have a little bit of everything. You have the weapon, tech, and biotic stuff, in that case. Similar here. Yes, that's actually not bad. Also have spent little to no time. Have we ever seen a weapon drop or armor drop from any remnants encounters? I think we got this once. That might be the one thing we've seen. Seems a little bit odd. I mean, yes, we've probably encountered less remnant than... except for augmentations, we might have seen some drop, but... Probably encountered less remnant than any other type of enemy, true, but still. A little strange. Then we did level up. We did level up. 7 points. We started to invest a bit in biotic abilities, partially for the passives. Oh, let's see. We have at rank 6. This might be significant. Shields restored on biotic kill 10%. Shields restored on at low health 100%. Low health threshold 20%. Saving barrier cooldown 15 seconds. Automatically restores shields upon reaching low health on a cooldown. So... I mean, that's potentially really nice. Because when you do get to low health, obviously you're going to want to get your shields back. We did, for the first time in a basically ever, use consumables to make that happen on the previous mission. Which, you know, we probably are going to do more of now that we actually know how to do it. That was more so the issue in the past. Rather than, and reluctance to use those consumables. The thing is, this has a very specific use case. And this is more generally applicable. The problem is, in some situations, especially in higher difficulties, if you drop to 20% health, you're functionally already dead. It's not always the case for us, because we have Cloak, so if we have our cooldown at least, then we can Cloak, retreat. You don't recharge your shields while you have Cloak up, although there was a rank 6 ability, I think, that we passed up on that could have allowed us to do that. So, without that ability, at least, we can relocate and get out of harm's way, although it does not immediately restore our shields. So, that would be... If you want a really defensive Cloak, then take that upgrade that we did not choose to take on Cloak, and take this as well, and you are really hard to kill. But, since we didn't do that, and I do have some intentions of potentially messing around with some skills that could really benefit from this, I'm a little conflicted. This is definitely the high risk, high reward. And as I said, although this sounds absolutely amazing on paper, and it probably still kind of is, in some situations, if you drop down to 20% health, you're already basically dead. So, not necessarily sure this is still going to help you. But, for those reasons, I might deliberately hold back for the time being. Other passives? Nah, not useful until we're actually actively using biotics. So then the other thing is, so we could continue to invest in tech, although we've invested in just about all the main abilities that we want to be doing. So we have more or less, at least, completed the essentials for the stealth oven or stealth scorcher build that I was planning to do as our starting build. And so basically, you've seen it. Functionally, it was Cloak to get up close into Flamer range, and then activate Flamer, get a little bit of a damage bonus on Flamer, and that's your primary damage dealer, and then detonates your fire combos with either Energy Drain or with Overload, so we could further upgrade Overload, and doing that or any other tech ability is, of course, going to further boost up some of our passives to a certain extent, but, you know, is that reason enough to be just throw in points in here for the time being when perhaps there are other things that could be more immediately and directly applicable. Because although I don't really want us to focus that much on being a quote-unquote soldier, with our weapon being our primary point of emphasis, then again, we are going to have a weapon at all times. So having a passive damage buff on whatever weapon we are using all the time is still pretty darn useful. The other issue with that, though, is that, as I was saying a while ago, don't necessarily have a long-term plan for what I want to do with our weapon. I am intrigued by all the augmentations, and I don't know what the new weapons are, and so we've experimented with some of them, but they are unknown quantities, and so there could be an amazing one that we eventually choose to use long-term that I just did not even plan on and did not anticipate because I didn't know that it existed or that it was any good. And so it could be that we invest a whole bunch of points in assault rifles, and then it turns out that we never end up using assault rifles long-term, and we exclusively use shotguns, and so we feel like any points that we invested in assault rifles was totally wasted on that, and we should have spent them on shotguns instead. Whereas, compare that to tech abilities, and although, well, I mean, we're going to be using Tactical Cloak for the vast majority of the game. Regardless of what build we're using, it's just that strong, and it synergizes so with so many other abilities that, like, this is something that we could very confidently spend points in, and Flamer is basically my favorite skill in Mass Effect 3, so I was going to be a big fan of that, I was pretty sure, and obviously it's been our primary damage dealer, thus far at least. So those are pretty safe things to invest in, and we started with Energy Drain. So, I mean, we could still do it. Oop. We could still do some combat stuff. Let's see. Oh, yeah, and this is the defensive stuff for combat, which would be nice, because that way, this is probably the most relevant passive ability for us, unless, what does this do? Combat power damage, melee damage. If this were like a universal weapon damage, that'd be great, but I think all the weapon damage is tied to the specific weapon type skills. We are using mostly pistols at the moment. Well, no, even that's not true. We're mostly using assault rifles at the moment. But again, that is very much subject to change, which makes me hesitant to throw points in here, but, I mean, we could. Damage, accuracy, stability, reduce weight, spare ammo. And I also have not really put much of any thought / even looked at what the abilities are here. I mean, most of them are pretty straightforward. Enemies hit by assault rifle fire take increased damage from all sources by 2% per assault rifle hit, up to a maximum of 24%. That sounds amazing. Resets when the rifle user has not hit the target for 2 seconds. Oh, so it's very brief. And it's, for that reason, almost as if it is just meant as a feedback loop on the assault rifle. Unless you're little peppering assault rifle, use power. Immediately go back to shooting with assault rifle. I mean, that is kind of sort of what you're trying to do, of course, but oftentimes you're going to have to duck into cover, reposition in between, and at least on higher difficulties, so that's maybe not always going to be all that realistic. Increases headshot and other weak point damage from assault rifles in addition to improving aiming. So this is kind of the extravagant, unusual upgrade. This is the simple, straightforward accuracy, stability, headshot damage. You just want to do a basic upgrade. Oh yeah, and these go up based on how many points you've invested. That makes sense. It's like, this is not terrible, going 1, 2, 3, I guess. I don't love it, just because I don't know how much we're going to use assault rifles long term, but I guess we will do it. Also because it gets us much closer to unlocking combat fitness, which I think is something we're going to want to do, and I do still think that the weapon-based things are most appealing to us, because basically I don't think that we're going to do much of anything with these combat abilities here. Maybe maybe one of them at some point in time, but I mostly want to focus on the tech and, to a certain extent, biotic side of things, and make us an engineer, which is basically the way we've been playing thus far, slash kind of, sort of, sentinel, which is technically the profile we started with, but not the profile we're using right now. And then we obviously have the tactical cloak, which is a tech skill, but previously was the infiltrator unique ability, so at least in that sense, we've been a little infiltrator-like as well. Okay, so we do that. Yeah, and like, so that means the combat power damage, pretty much meaningless. Melee damage, we've meleeed people maybe like 3 times most. And don't think we're going to be detonating with that stuff either. Like, that's maybe the first thing here that looks useful. Or particularly useful to us. And that, to a certain extent, those are all just pretty minor quality of life things that just are not anywhere near worth that level of investment, it would seem. But we have unlocked rank 1 of soldier. And also, oh yeah, Vanguard, because we already had the biotic points, that makes sense. And also, Infiltrator, because we already had the tech points for sure. And also, Explorer, because this is new. Hold on. So the 2 things we don't have are Sentinel. No, we have a Sentinel already, don't we? We must, yeah, rank 2. And Adept is already rank 2. Okay, yeah, so we have all of them. All of them unlocked, at least to a certain extent. So weapon stuff, understandably. A little bit of damage resistance, clip size. Grant escalating damage bonus for every target killed in a short time. Engineer we're using, we know about that. Vanguards, this is combat plus biotics, melee damage, and biotic recharge speed. Infiltrator, combat plus tech, accuracy, stability, tech recharge speed, which is not bad. Headshot, weak point damage. Battlefield awareness. Observe enemies through walls when using a scope. Cloak evades while evading. A brief cloaking device is activated. I don't know what to make of those. But, I mean, the tech recharge speed is the thing that's interesting there. Weapon accuracy, stability, I think, obviously are nice, but are not things that we're going to be building around, I don't think. Whereas the Explorer is new to Andromeda. It's weapon damage and damage resistance. And yeah, it's combination tech, combat, and biotic. So it's the truly all-rounded class, which previously was kind of sort of Sentinel, though Sentinel technically was not a combat class, although Sentinel, obviously, everyone can use a weapon, so in that way it kind of was still the all-around class, because you could at least do some things with weapons, even if you didn't really have weapon-specific skills. Alright, so. Alright, we don't have a... Kind of don't have a mission for going to Eladin. But that's probably about to change. Sort of is for the whole Drac thing. Well, I would expect it to be a main quest mission to come here, but maybe kind of, sort of not. We'll find out. Okay, I was gonna say. You're gonna tell me we can't even land here? Now let's learn a little bit more about it. Okay, so slightly lower atmospheric pressure than that of Earth. It is hot. It is definitely hot. A moistureless, sweltering landscape covered by a large number of cover subsidence sinkholes. Eldon still supports life to a limited degree. The fledgling Krogan colony of New Tuchanka is here, along with what appear to be abandoned mining facilities, scattered outposts, and camps. Okay, this has Ezo. It's a high rarity mineral here for whatever that's worth. And Forgotten History, an Exile Raid, Turian Arc might be here. An Eldon New World, so wait, Eldon New World would be, that I would assume, the main thing we're looking for here, but what category is that under? So we don't have one of these for Eldon yet, which is where I imagine most of the stuff would be. Oh, it is. It is a main quest mission. Okay, that makes sense. Drac is concerned about tensions at the Krogan colony of Eldon. He's forwarded you an email from Jorkel Strux, a well-respected Krogan from an old family. Strux has asked to meet you at a trading post called Paradise. Something tells me it's not going to be Paradise. He's also asked that you keep it a secret. Okay, so yeah, this is basically what we're looking for. Oh, wait, what? Is this the planet where... Wait, there are reports of interesting, potentially lucrative activity in the Remev system. Well, those reports alone seem vague. It's also the area that the Turian Arc may have been headed. Veteran PB suggests that we check it out. Okay. So I think that is the name for the place where Vetra's loyalty mission takes place, and I not remember the name because it is remarkably unremarkable. But that would suggest that it is not like Liam's mission and that it is a specific, unique location that only exists for that one mission, but is a place where a whole bunch of stuff happens. Alright, so I think we'll still go Eldon, though. I think we'll still go Eldon, because I am intrigued about what happened to the Krogan. But perhaps there definitely is more to Vetra's mission, and everything around Vetra's mission in that case, because there's a much bigger planet that I was giving credit for that is located on. But alas, let's head here. Obviously, we should take the Krogan Hammer. That is the best way to introduce ourselves to them. I think we should try switching out the Sidewinder for something else. Namely, not sure where we got that one from. Or that one from. Maybe they dropped from Liam's mission? Don't remember that happening, but sure, because we obviously already had one of these Crusaders. What I did want, though, was you. I would like you. So... Wait, no, not on the Eagle. Hurricane. Why do you keep on going back to the Eagle? Hurricane. Now do this. So Hurricane... High damage, extremely high rate of fire, not very accurate, ridiculous kick. At least based on Mass Effect 3. So, with that super high rate of fire, does mean giving it additional ammo could be useful. Penetration, though, is generally a good idea. Damage, never a bad thing. It's penetration with no downside. That's accuracy. I don't think technically accuracy is not the problem, it's stability. But that's one of the reasons why getting some of the modifications, the augmentations, things that can help these projectiles, the bullets, target, like heat-seek enemies, I feel like could just circumvent that issue altogether, which could be really nice, in a way that accuracy would not really do. I'm a little bit intrigued by the clip size just because that is usually an issue with the Hurricane, at least based on prior experience with Mass Effect 3, assuming it's similar in Andromeda, which I imagine is still the case, at least to a certain extent. So, I think we do need the penetration of some variety, right? Get that off the Sidewinder. Might just use the same things as the Sidewinder. Generic damage. We have another generic damage one. Or we go for the clip size. Basically what it comes down to. Let's actually go for the clip size. Assume that the base damage on the Hurricane's going to be high enough that that's going to be more useful than 12%. Okay. let us proceed with that then. This is fine. Oh, well, yep, we're going apparently. I was gonna check our team as well, but it's gonna be Liam and Drac in that case. Drac makes sense. Liam,
Drac,
maybe not who I
we're
would have
landing
picked.
on Eladin to rendezvous with Jorgal Strux.
On my way.
And by maybe not who I would have picked, I mean definitely not who I would have picked. Especially since we just took him. He's had his time in the sun.
Where is this meeting place exactly?
Called the
Paradise.
Middle of nowhere, as far as I can tell.
Paradise is different for a Krogan.
I recognize this place.
Remnant starship? No.
Only 41% exposed. I will gather what information I can, Pathfinder.
Who lives here besides the Krogan?
Scavengers with nothing to lose. Criminals chucked out of Kadara.
Gonna be interesting.
That's saying something for Kadara. Seeing as how basically everyone there was already a criminal. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very tempted to just turn right around and swap Liam out for someone else. And by that I mean I'm probably about to turn right around, come back into the Tempest and swap Liam out for someone else. And then return. Oh. So this planet was definitely, I think, the very first one that got revealed in Andromeda promos. You know, trailers and teasers and what have you. Oh, I mean, we didn't do anything on that planet, but apparently you have reason to chat. I guess, sure.
I don't believe it. Gil's reconfigured our entire nav array. O'Connell risked a dozen spacewalks putting that in place. Damn it.
Callow, don't.
Take the helm. I've had enough of this.
What?
You don't give a damn what my team and I went through to build this ship.
No, I don't. I care about us surviving out here, and if that means redesigning...
You don't have the right.
Hey guys. What's up? Did I interrupt something?
All right, let's talk this out. What's going on?
I'm doing my job, and he's undoing it because... Hell if I know.
You weren't here. We had to get all kinds of new tech working in a single starship. 50-hour shifts, epiphanies, accidents. Humans can forget. Solarians can't. To me, it's all still happening. My team is here. Stripping down the Tempest like some broken radio risks everything they suffered to build. Their legacy.
Okay. I mean, I see what you're saying on one hand. That they put in a lot of hard work. On the other hand, it's kind of a sunk cost. And that there's nothing we can do to change that. What is, the past is in the past. And now, if we can make improvements, we should probably still look to make improvements. And if what Gil is truly trying to do is create improvements, then he could be more communicative about it and tell you in advance that he's doing these things. But assuming that that is ultimately his intention to improve the ship, then that's at its core good. If, however, he is just doing it to spite you, then that's not good.
If he had the Tempest up on blocks, I might see it.
Look, Callow, your people did a great job, but they're dead. And they couldn't have anticipated half the problems in Helios. Like the Scourge. If we don't adapt, we'll die too. Is that what you want their legacy to be?
Gutting a complex ship out in space isn't adapting. It's irresponsible and disrespectful.
Okay. So, we did have some build up to this, where there was definitely some tension between Callow and Gil, and that Gil has basically done this on several occasions already. And, I mean, this does seem like some of the confrontations in Mass Effect 2 in particular, where you basically have to pick sides, one or the other, or in that case, if you had sufficient morality points one way or the other, then you might be able to charm or intimidate your way into a solution in which you do not, or you can at least not make the other person mad at you if you don't side with them. Because, you know, if we pick Gil, Callow's probably going to be mad. Pick Callow, Gil's probably going to be mad. Not going to lie, Gil is extremely obnoxious, and I don't really like him. But, on the other hand, he does kind of have the more logical argument here, at the very least. Again, assuming that he is legitimately trying to make these changes for the betterment of the ship. Yes, without a doubt, his communication and teamwork in general is abysmal. So he should still improve that either way. But if he is truly improving the ship, then ultimately that is something that is in our best interest. So I'm kind of siding with him for that reason.
The Tempest is ours now. She has to serve our mission first in whatever capacity we need. Gil, change whatever you have to.
I wonder, in time, will strangers be treating your achievements so carelessly?
It's just kind of an ignorant...
Peace and quiet, finally. Thanks, Ryder.
ignorant position.
Okay, show's over. Back to it.
Like, I get trying to... trying to honor their contributions? Honor their contributions by not changing anything that they've done? I mean, even that sounds silly. Like, honoring their contributions by not messing with their contributions is basically Callow's argument. But it's just basically stating that once something is made, it can never be changed or improved, which is a silly position to have when you're entering an unknown environment with circumstances that are constantly changing, such is the case here. So, seems like hard to defend that, or that position is very weak, in my opinion. Alright, we will disembark because we did intend to come down here. I just would like to do it with a different group of people because Drac makes a lot of sense. It's the Krogan planet, and he's kind of sort of our lead person here. Liam, we just went on your loyalty mission, so I think we do swap you out here. Was it been the longest since we last used? And we had a, very long time, it felt like, where we did PB and Cora as our team. Vetra, we might be about to do her loyalty mission after this, so maybe we go Jaal, although it seems like there's so many places where it's always like, well, Jaal wants to do something here, Jaal wants to do something here. This has stuff to do with the Ankara, we should probably take Jaal. So, it feels like more often than not, we don't need excuses to take Jaal. So, is it Drac? Vetra? Could be. It's a little bit redundant here. They are kind of both our combat tanky people, but I think we've done this combo at least once before, so sure, we'll go for that. This time, we should be good. Alright, so we actually have a heat hazard here. Although when we're in the shade, it's... Wait, is that the way it works?
Temperature levels are climbing, Pathfinder.
The shade
The
is
ambient
safe.
temperature is normal.
Okay, that's interesting. So, obviously we're here for the first time. Basically, the first time. On Eladin. And there is a lot of stuff in the immediate vicinity. Yes, Paradise is very close by. We have a few question marks. / exclamation points. Conflict in the colony. Visit Paradise. A Krogan contact named Gorgel Strux. Wait. Oh, okay. Yeah, that is the quest in question here that we should activate. It's like I thought that was going to be it, but those two things sounded very similar then. But no, okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. Alright, and it is, yes, in this direction, which makes sense.
I remember the first time I saw this place, I thought, wow, this is home. I wasn't the only one.
Yeah, well, that's probably the case for a lot of people, in a lot of situations here in Andromeda. A lot of people fighting over a small number of habitable places, but yeah, so this was one of the, if not the very first, planets that got revealed during the lead up to Andromeda with trailers and what have you. So I think there might have been images, just like a static image of other places once or twice before seeing this, but I think this was the first time where we actually saw a character, which obviously turned out to be Ryder, or a placeholder character, doing just some very basic walking around in some sand dunes here and seeing, you know, those kinds of mountain-like structures and plateaus in the background as they did so. So, that is cool. I'm not gonna lie, I almost fell in that. Those are Turians.
Almost croaked out there. He got me good.
Oh, I thought it was these people talking. Apparently it's these people talking. Scavenger? Hold on.
Almost croaked out there. He got me good.
Priorities. Lots of Turians.
Did I hear you talking about the remnant?
Apparently I did.
You an eavesdropping snake?
Yes.
Been breaking it down to sell. Could make a killing from the pieces.
Ryder? You should check that out.
Okay. Is that going to be something that... Is that actually one of the exclamations or question marks? No. That certainly sounds like something that PB would be interested in being involved with, so I was half expecting us to get a notification for a new quest and for it to say PB would like to take part in this. Like we've seen in some other occasions. Okay, so do we do these ones first, or do we go straight into the main quest one? Maybe we try to go first the, at least get the other things on our radar first, which just seems like they're in this direction. Also, was not paying super close attention to what the temperature was exactly. I thought it was like 39 degrees Celsius in the shade, and then... This is technically still in the shade. Alright, we'll figure it out later.
You touch my salvage, you die.
Oh. Nice to meet you, too. Granted, that's the main quest. That's the forward station spot. Can we walk past the main quest, or is it gonna pull us into a cutscene? Just want to get this.
Automated protocols activated. Deploying forward station. Mining
Nice.
zones in this region are available, Pathfinder.
Okay.
I've added them to your nav system.
One of the other reasons, not a huge reason, but I guess a reason why it made sense for us to come here relatively early, relative to at least the mission with the Archon, and then I guess now that we've learned that apparently Vetra's loyalty mission will also take place on a new planet, we could, for the same reason, opt to go there. Apparently, when we visit new planets, we have seen, on most occasions, like every occasion thus far, that there are some of the cryopod rewards that only become available once we first get there in the first place, but then also some that only become unlockable once we get them up to a certain either viability percentage number or complete some other major objective there. So, reason why we might want to go to some of these places soon is so that when we are getting those cryopod points, if there's something that's really good that you can only get from being at one of these locations, then we can do that quickly. And not, you know, waste our points elsewhere on stuff that is not as good because we don't realize that there are other stronger upgrades that we just haven't gotten access to yet. So I'd like to get over there, but how do we not fall into this endless abyss? I assume you just die if you fall in there. It's hazard level 1, which is not a huge deal, thankfully.
Lucky the paradise has shade. I'd fry out there.
But, you know, we can't walk around there indefinitely, of course. 50 degrees Celsius out in the heat, that is pretty hot.
Wish that goddamn sun would just go away.
And so that is, I mean, it might be similar to EOS, had similar issues. Level 1 hazard in a lot of places, and then other places it did bump up. So that might be the case here as well, at least until we activate a vault, in all likelihood.
Hey, I recognize your insignia. You're Nexus, right? A pathfinder. Kent Halsey, Nexus Security.
Okay, but why are you here?
Didn't know your duties reached all the way to Eladin.
It doesn't. I'm here for personal reasons.
Okay, like
My
to find a way to
sister
move your
Isabel
face?
fell in with the wrong people. She joined the rebellion and was exiled to Kadara. Somehow, she pissed off enough people to end up in this hellhole.
Your security and your sister's a troublemaker. Puts you in an awkward situation.
I don't care about that. I'm here to find her. I know she can't come back to the Nexus, but we can start over on Kadara, together.
Okay. So his sister is up to trouble. Got kicked out of multiple places, basically, and trying to meet back up with her and figure things out, make it work. What's up, Honor? How's it going? How are you? Let's see. I mean, that's noble of you to try to right some of her wrongs, perhaps.
You're a good brother, Kent.
Don't congratulate me yet. The problem is, I underestimated this planet. I don't have a vehicle or a way to survive the heat. I'm stuck before I've even started.
Well, that's where you and I differ.
Don't worry. I can track Isabel down for you.
I hoped you'd say that. I think the salvager from Kadara has info on her. She wouldn't give me anything, but maybe you can get her
Alright,
talking.
so we're gonna have to head back to Kadara to make that happen. Another reason why coming here early makes sense, because there might be some back and forth required, and we are obviously gonna go back to Kadara at some point as well. So a lot of stuff to do there, but now we have better knowledge about what we should be doing there.
Hey, I'm talking to you. Hey!
Excuse me? You talking to me? Are you? Talking to me? Surprised this isn't telling us it's hot outside. Over here. Whoa. Hello. Trin, you are hiding very effectively. Also, you look remarkably similar to our sister.
Shh, don't draw any attention. Can't let them see me.
Oh?
What are you doing?
Sneaking onto the next ship out of here. Getting off this hellhole. Paid a smuggler on Kadara to wait for me. All I need to do is get to him. They haven't seen me yet. Think I'll make it this time. Just need to be quick enough.
That seems like a bad idea. Early in the morning for you. Late at night for me, but you know. Such is the way of time zones.
That's a good way to get yourself killed.
Maybe, but worth the risk. Besides, feeling lucky. If I try to leave, I might die. If I stay, I definitely die.
Should I stay or should
No
I go
coming
now?
back from what I did.
What happened? Piss off the wrong person?
Followed a gang leader near Ataraxia called Little Mouse. Seemed like a nice kid, till he started taking slaves.
Oh.
Didn't agree with it, so I freed every one of them. Now his people are after me. No running from Little Mouse.
That'll do it, I guess.
Not unless I get off Eladin.
That'll probably make that person pretty angry at you. Wrong as their actions may have been. There are slavers here?
I didn't know there was slavery on Eladin. That's a big deal.
Not much. Little Mouse was one of the first to try. He's only a kid, so people trusted him, followed him.
How did he
I fell for
make
it.
it happen then?
Other scavengers will too. Only thing to do now is escape.
I guess I'll leave you to it.
Yes, back away. You didn't see me.
Little kid, I'm assuming human, that somehow becomes a slave owner slash trader on a planet
Get out of my face. I swear I'll kill you.
I'll kill you first.
full of confrontational Krogan.
Saw him kill a girl over Moni ration.
Who apparently succeeds because people didn't expect this little kid to do this. But my point is, confrontational Krogan.
Hey, I'm talking to you. Hey.
Look at them the wrong way, and they'll beat you up. And if you're a little kid,
Get out of my face.
that probably means it'd be very hard to have any sort of significant power in a planet full of people who are Alright, so we've already gotten that, so we don't need to do that. For what it's worth, the stream did just drop again. So we might not want to really be doing super high important stuff if the stream is about to drop, because it is seemingly doing that a whole freaking lot today. And I'd rather not have it cut out when we're right in the middle of doing something important.
What are you looking at?
So as much as I would like to head over there to discuss stuff with the important NBC,
Almost croaked out there. You got me good.
not necessarily sure we want to risk that we might lose some of that conversation in the records. Wait, what? What's that one? Oh, that's the other new wait, is that the new quest? I mean, it's in the same area as all the other stuff. There's everything's in there, okay. So I guess we'll poke our head in there and then we might wrap it up. Just because I am concerned that we'll end up losing some material if we're not careful. Okay.
Fair exchange.
Why? Because you say it is?
Partly. I wouldn't be in business if I wasn't fair. If you don't think so, go trade somewhere else.
Okay, I will.
Oh, I was wondering if they were going to try to get a refund. Become the new refund guy. Okay. Random scavenger, who I don't think is the person we're looking for. And therefore, I'll just have a quick conversation with you.
Nice duds. Better watch your back. There's probably already a dozen people planning to kill you for them.
Oh, is that a threat?
Are you threatening me? Sounded like it.
Me? No, just trying to be helpful. I know a hard target when I see one. And I stay on your good side. Maybe you won't mind me picking up the scraps you leave behind. So, what else can I do for you?
Okay. So, what do you do here?
What do you do on this planet? Why are you here?
Why? Trying to find out where my claim is?
No, relax.
I do the same as anyone else here. Try not to get killed.
Okay, that's not very helpful. You live here?
Where do you live? Where do you sleep?
There's a flop house not far from here. There's always shelter. Maybe even a bed, if someone died that day.
Oh, that's lovely.
You know a Krogan named Strux?
Nope, but Krogan are hard to miss. Look around.
Okay.
We're done.
Suit yourself.
Not a very helpful conversation.
Step off. Not allowed back here.
Okay. You're a shopkeeper of some variety, which we might want to talk with you in a second.
New armor, well-maintained weapons. I take it you're not one of the locals.
Yeah.
You've been trained to spot this.
One of the reasons Ania hired me. I know whose good side to get on.
Okay, Ania, I'm pretty sure is the name of the shopkeeper that we just saw.
What's your boss like?
She gave me a job and a place to live. I'm grateful to her for that.
But
She's not easy on your kind. I've seen her deny them water based on nothing but her mood. She didn't live on Kadara like I did. All she's seen is the exiles on Eladin. It's enough to turn anyone against outsiders. But I don't like seeing people suffer, even exiles.
Yeah, so basically, Kadara is the place where the human, primarily, exiles, or, yeah, exiles slash criminals who rebelled against the Andromeda Initiative fled to. And then there, the people that they exiled got sent here. This is also the place where the Krogan exiles went. So this is the exiles of the exiles.
so you work for the water merchant?
I design the filtration systems. Now I keep them from breaking down in the heat.
You're an engineer.
Of sorts. On Kadara, I design defense systems for the settlements. Specialized in hidden traps to use in the dark. I can't continue that work here.
Why?
The sun never goes down on Eladin. No nighttime. Just constant blazing daylight. It's why the Paradise does so well. Water isn't the only commodity. We have shade.
Okay, I mean, you could make shade by building structures like this, but... Alright.
How'd you end up here?
Same as anyone. I was desperate. Run up a debt on Kadara and needed to escape. I have to say life isn't bad here. I move between the Paradise and New Tachanka, keeping the water tanks running. Sometimes I even go to the flop house to buy extra parts from the scavengers. They respect me there. Still, I miss the exciting stuff. Felt like I was making a difference when I built defense systems.
Okay, I mean, you could join the Resistance. Does seem like you have some very applicable skills.
If you want to make a difference again, the Resistance needs recruits on Vold.
The Resistance? It's a nice thought, but I doubt they'd take a lowlife like me.
I mean, apparently, we cannot refute that claim. We can't give him a pep talk. Oh, no, don't worry, man. You're not a lowlife. You can turn your life around. Just give yourself a chance. But nope. We're just gonna accept the fact that he is committed.
I should get going.
Careful out there.
No pick-me-ups allowed. No pep talks.
Well, look at you. I'm good at reading people. Want me to guess who you are?
Shoot.
A pathfinder.
Impressive.
How'd you know?
I cheated. I run salvage to Kadara. Word travels fast there. Should hear what the collective is saying about you.
Okay, it does perhaps sound like you're saying you are in the collective.
I take it you're a member.
I don't take sides. That way when a fight breaks out, I always win.
Okay, if you say so. Still not sure I believe you, but... Alright, what about this planet, in general, in which we currently find ourselves?
What's your take on Eladin?
If the worm or the gang leaders don't kill you,
The worm?
the heat and ataraxia will. I don't know how anyone can
What is
live
the
here.
worm?
Somehow they make it work.
Barely. At least once a trip, an escaped slave or ex-cultist tries to bribe me for a ride out of here.
Cultists?
Except the Krogan. I've seen New Tachanka. We'd all be lucky to have a setup like theirs.
Really? They have it all figured out. That surprises me a little bit, that the Krogan are the ones to have been... I mean, they, I suppose, have kind of been the primary group here. Yeah. And maybe you've had the most time to set up for that reason. But, you know, they're not always that well known for things other than brute force. But I mean, what's her name? Kesh? On the Nexus, obviously, she's been, technically an engineer, and so she's running, in many ways, the technical side of all the operations on the Nexus, so she's certainly capable, but Krogan, more generally, not usually their strong suit to have a well-organized society, which is kind of what you're implying here. I have no idea who this is. Did we see this person briefly before? Did we walk past them? We might have.
Got info on someone named Isabel Halsey?
What am I, your personal database?
Pretty please?
Come on. You're the only one here who
Come
doesn't want to kill
on.
me. Just help me out.
Fine, fine. I've never met her, but I heard a few scavengers talking.
Apparently this is someone from another side quest they don't remember.
A cave out in the dunes. Something about Isabel's time being limited. This is the nav point. Just watch out. That's a bad area.
All of Eldon is a bad area.
Good point.
This is probably the missing sister that we were just talking to the guy a few minutes ago about. Okay, Reyes, the name of one of the... Like, is that the leader of the outcasts?
Ever worked with a guy named Reyes?
No, apparently not.
Reyes? He's one of my buyers, actually. You know him?
Apparently.
We've met.
Apparently.
I'm not surprised. Reyes knows everyone. Some a little too well.
I have no recollection of who that is, but sure.
You said you run salvage to Kadara. How does that work?
The scavengers come from Hell's Promise to sell me their scraps. I pay them next to nothing.
Charming. Then what?
I haul my loot to Kadara and sell to the merchants. Sloane takes her cut, naturally, but mostly I make a killing. Sometimes I even buy water from Ania and sell it at a premium in the flop house. It's a solid life.
If you say so.
Pretty weird names for some of these places.
You must deal with the scavengers a lot.
No more than I have to. Slavery, cannibalism,
Cannibalism?
gang leader worship. It's enough to make my skin crawl.
Yeah, we don't really know much about them yet, but that does not sound good.
I plan to keep my distance.
Smart. But it's not just the gang leaders. The ones in the Paradise are dangerous too. This is supposed to be a neutral zone, but I don't trust the scavengers to follow the rules.
Okay. Good to know, I suppose.
Take it easy.
Always do.
Alright, we should probably talk to the shopkeeper. Is she just a shopkeeper?
So you're Ania.
That's right. And you are?
Veteran X. We do business with the same people on Kadara.
Oh,
Ah,
apparently.
yes, one of the newcomers. Welcome, all of you, to my paradise. Outside the gates, you're on your own, but in here, you're safe. Anyone violates the peace, they have to answer to me.
Okay, I mean... Not really sure how effective that is, given how we've already had multiple people either threaten to take our lives or say that other people will do so.
Yeah, everyone's on their best behavior. Is it natural, or are they on something?
Nothing so complicated. These people need me. They need what I sell, so they behave or they're out. Now what can I get you? How can I help? Just let me know.
Yeah, I mean, that's a terrible reason for why they rely on you. They need what you sell. Okay, well, yeah, they're a bunch of violent criminals. What's to stop them from attacking you, taking all you have to sell, and then they don't need you anymore because they have all the stuff, and you serve no purpose? Yeah, so that doesn't really hold much water. I'm pretty sure you sell water, though. So in that way, it does hold water. Okay, so let's start with you.
You have a pretty good attitude for a place like this.
I've got nothing to complain about. I'm rich and no one messes with me. Most powerful woman on Eldon.
Yeah, see, but like everyone would mess with you.
I don't mean to brag, but absolutely.
I mean, everything you just said just means you are 100% a huge target for anyone here to go after you. So, and you're arrogant, which means that it's that much easier to take advantage of that arrogance, where you're probably not so readily prepared to defend yourself because you think that you're untouchable when you very much are not.
What else is here?
I'm a businesswoman, not a tour guide, but I'll tell you what I know if it suits me.
Okay. The Krogan colony.
You get along with the Krogan?
Everyone comes to Eldon with the dream of leaving, except me and the Krogan. They built their colony into a sinkhole. Smart. Keeps it cool enough for them, I guess.
They have their own water?
Unfortunately for them, no. But Mordor and I get along well, so far.
Yeah, you know, sinkholes sink further. That's like the worst possible place to build any permanent structures, but... Okay, I mean, it does give them some natural shade. Give them that much.
Who lives on this planet?
Desperate folks mostly. Misfits some.
Love that the
those that can't get along
prompt for
in
that
the
was
regular
scavengers.
world. Or people willing to make a profit off that desperation.
Like you?
Careful, sweetheart. You want to keep me on your good side. There's a place they call the Flop House.
Yeah.
East-ish of here.
Very weird
Den
name.
of murder and misery. You should pay it a call.
Oh. Maybe we will. There was a big remnant ship.
What can you tell me about that derelict ship?
Ah, you came here to get killed, did ya? Scavengers are trying
maybe.
to pull it apart, is all I know. I don't go near their claims. They shoot on sight.
Okay, that doesn't come as much of a surprise. Then this is the dude that we are technically trying to meet.
I'm supposed to meet a Krogan here named Strux.
Look around. If my customers have names, I don't know them. It's better that way.
Alright. The other guy said he didn't know of a Krogan by that name either.
What can I buy?
I don't know. What do you have to trade? Mostly I sell water, but you should go out to the tanks if you want that.
Is there anywhere else on the planet to, I don't know, find water?
Not really. And if I don't like the look of you or you get on my bad side, then no water for you.
Okay, but you do have stuff to sell. Increased life support. Improved boost. Ooh, that is very intriguing. Another... augmentations. Do we have the research to craft this? Because that's not a bad thing to have. I mean, it's a small number, don't get me wrong, but... yeah, we are using this, don't we? Aren't we? Charges weapon fire to burst? I don't recognize that. I don't remember that being a thing. I'm gonna pick that up just in case. Granted, not a huge fan of combat abilities, so maybe not so much on that. Kinetic coil, hey, that's the name of an upgrade from Mass Effect 1. I recognize it, except it's a, yeah, it's a weapon upgrade. It's what, stability and damage? For weapons in Mass Effect 1, I think? So that's kind of cool. Max health, just a tiny bit. All combo radius, oh! Radius scaling, that might be the first time we've ever seen that on any gear. I think we have not seen these things before. At least some of these mods. Some of these augmentations. That is intriguing. I do wonder if perhaps now that we've been to Eldin for the first time, maybe that unlocks some things that previously we did not have the ability to unlock. So maybe these are now things we'll be able to get. Shield regeneration delay reduction is great. 2% is probably not going to be that noticeable, though. These are, of course, also going to fill our inventory to a certain extent, but we did increase our maximum inventory space a little while ago, so not that concerned about that right now. Changes weapon fire to single shot, but better weapon damage, accuracy, worse stability, worse rate of fire. So basically turns everything into an executioner pistol. It's my first reaction to that. I'm actually not that against. I kind of like the executioner pistol. I do like the executioner pistol for Mass Effect 3, but definitely I can imagine sometimes where that's a good thing, sometimes where that is very much not a good thing. All right, so I'm intrigued. We'll go for that. That is actually kind of expensive. That the way that has all, you know, maybe we won't do all that stuff. Maybe we don't need to do all that stuff. Maybe we don't have to do all of that stuff. Oh, and this, yeah, reduces accuracy and damage. Ooh. Does this basically turn things into a shotgun? I don't know. I don't know. I'm just a little hesitant to buy all those things when we might see ourselves get the option to craft them with research stuff later on when we have a whole bunch of that. Whole bunch of raw materials and what have you. So maybe it doesn't make that much sense to get aggressive with that now. Let's see. To our rights. Theoretically is where we're expecting to find another quest, which I'm pretty sure is going to be this guy. This scavenger.
What are you looking at?
Your strange glasses. Whatever those technically are.
What?
Visor?
Nothing.
Really?
Because it looks like you're looking at me. I don't like it.
Maybe I am looking at you.
I'll look where I want.
Yeah? Maybe I'll shoot whoever I want.
I thought the rule was no guns.
That won't protect you outside the gates. If you see me there, you better run.
Pathfinder, is it necessary to engage with this individual? I don't see how it helps our cause.
Right. Let's just back away slowly, guys.
About time.
Huh? I mean, that was...
Ryder, I heard that little exchange. I don't understand it. They screened every initiative applicant. How did so many of them end up violent and unstable?
You think something's up?
That's what I want to find out. Can you scan the scavengers here in the Paradise and transmit the data to me? And, you know, be discreet.
I am curious to what extent we actually do need to be discreet. So I really want to scan this guy right in front of his face.
Wow. Be careful around that one, Ryder. Excellent.
Brain chemical imbalance. Okay. I was gonna say, it seemed odd that it very much showed that we were gonna get a new quest out of this, and then it seemed like it was either just gonna be very quick, oh, this guy wants to fight us. Briefly pop out of town and fight him. Or it just turns into nothing at all. Oh, yeah, can we scan everyone? Only humans? Only specific people? I'm not entirely like you. You are both Asari, and neither of you were scannable, so perhaps it's only humans? I don't really know. You're scannable.
Not a scavenger, Ryder.
Oh. Only scavengers. I see. Unusually... Wait. Their glucocorticoid hormones are unusually high? I have no idea what that means. Reaction time below average. Ouch. Increased aggression, possible cerebral deterioration. No other unusual readings. They are dumb and have slow reaction time. It's kind of rough. It's kind of rough. Okay. So this theoretically is the main encounter. Hello, Drac. The main encounter that we are looking to do here. I guess we've spoken to just about all of the side questy people. There's, I'm sure, additional people to scan, of course, but all right. Oh. Something else we should be scanning? You're telling me I should be scanning stuff. Yeah. And that's clearly Strux. That is our dude. But why are you telling me to... Are you just telling me to stand next to Strux so that I can talk to him?
Are you Jorgal Strux?
Maybe. You who I think you are?
I'm the Pathfinder from the Nexus. You asked me to meet you here?
Yeah, I did. Thanks for coming.
Okay. We value the Krogan. We want to build bridges between the Andromeda Initiative and the Krogan, even though we are not on the best of terms right now.
Everyone's best chance for survival is to cooperate. That includes the Krogan.
Good. Nice to know some people are on our side.
So,
I'm very surprised he bought that.
It's heading to a bad place.
We can't be there anymore.
Morta's become a tyrant.
Did she kick you out?
Hasn't come to that yet, so we're laying low. I want to keep my eye on her. She's planning a strike against the Nexus, that much we know.
That's very not good.
The audio logs you sent do sound like something bad is brewing.
Morta is going to rip
I don't
this
remember those
colony
audio logs.
apart. And then we're all going to die.
Krogan dying. Your homeworld's worse than this place.
Everyone needs food and water, even Krogan. Morta's rationing.
Oh, it's probably
My group
Spender's
thinks the Krogan
stuff.
should make peace with the
That's what that was a
Nexus.
reference to. Okay, so group thinks Krogan should make peace with the Nexus. I mean, I'm surprised that they are this upfront about trying to be peaceful.
We need the Krogan, and the Krogan need us. We all came to Andromeda as one. We should at least try to fix this.
Well, there won't be a colony to make peace with if Morta ruins it. You don't believe me? Go to the Krogan colony yourself and see what she's planning. Talk to Ravener Brink. He's one of us, on the inside.
If the safety of the Nexus is really on the line, I'll go. Better hope she doesn't shoot me on sight.
Yeah, that'd be a bad omen.
Alright, one more viability. We've successfully spoken to him, but wasn't that much to that conversation beyond that. Some experience as well. He's also, doing something? What exactly is he doing? It's like strongman poses, like bodybuilding exercise. Is he dancing? He's almost T-posing, but not quite. I'm very confused as to what that was all about, but okay. Guess we just won't read into that too much. So I know they said that we only need to scan scavengers, but I'm just gonna scan everybody. Or at least try to.
There a reason you're pointing that thing at me?
Maybe.
Sorry.
Subtle. Also not a scavenger.
We are perhaps deliberately going to be as unsubtle, as obvious as possible. Again, these unusually high hormones of some variety that I don't understand. Reaction time also below average. Increased aggression. Possible cerebral deterioration. No other unusual... I mean, that's the same thing that the other one said. Guard. Same. Okay, yeah, so everyone is saying the same thing. You're a scavenger. What same stuff?
Not a scavenger, Ryder.
Alright. You are, though.
Data inconclusive. Find a different one. Not a scavenger, Ryder.
That won't stop me. You as well? Okay. I mean, I don't know. Is that exclusively to this specific area, or are we gonna have to go around the entire planet trying to find scavengers? Maybe don't do that. Because if so, then that's gonna be a little more involved. And not exactly something we're gonna do right now, all the way through.
Think you're tough? Wait till you meet me on the dunes.
See, these guys are called scavengers, and yet we can't scan them. So, you know...
Yeah? Think you can win?
They don't know my crawler has
Strange.
guns.
Data's
That's
not
my
coming
advantage.
through. Try another one.
Think you're tough? Wait till you meet me.
What are you doing?
Perfect.
What? Brain chemical imbalance? Okay, does that mean we talk with this person? Hey, by the way, you have a brain chemical imbalance in case you didn't know?
I didn't do it. Didn't do nothing. Okay.
Also, what is up with his hair?
Good. Tell him that when they come.
Weird.
Oh, okay, no, there's a progress... I thought we were just done, but no, there's a progress bar. It is suggesting that we are roughly halfway done. Which... I don't know, I mean... Maybe that means we can finish just by scanning other people in and around the area, but perhaps not. Not gonna lie, I did almost dash into that.
Damn, he grabbed my crawler again. Tried the flop house. They shot at me.
like, you know, go into these other locations that people have referred to. Might there be other scavengers there, and that's the place where we'll actually get the info we need. And this is potentially 3 in 1.
That one didn't work. Try someone else. Excellent.
Okay. A little bit more progress. I assume it doesn't work for you. With the long face, pulling you down, don't hide away. Like an ocean. You can see, but you can smell this. Okay, no. Oh, hold on.
Water's the
just
most
this.
valuable commodity on Eladon, and Ania has all of it.
Bloody water.
Just water? Just water?
Ah, Ania told me to watch out for you. She told me you're welcome to use the water in the tanks, free of charge.
Weird. I didn't think Ania was the sort of person to just give things away.
Drinks on me! Let's go. Maybe we play it cool for the time being.
Please pass on my thanks to Ania.
Of course. You must have made an impression. I have never known Ania to do this. Water is a scarce and valuable resource on Eladon.
Yeah, I am as surprised as you are.
Seems odd to place the water tank so close to that gaping chasm.
Also that.
Someone once told me Ania does it as a security measure.
What?
She empties the tanks into the gorge if anyone tries to steal the water. I've never seen it happen myself, but others have. Can you imagine? What a waste.
And that is extremely petty, but somehow I'm not surprised.
Where does this water come from?
I believe that's a trade secret. I don't even know where she gets it. At first I thought she traded with Kadara, but that can't be it. It's impossible for all this volume to be from Kadara.
I mean, we did recently set up an outpost on Vold, where supposedly that has become the chief export, has been water, because it's a nice planet, so melt that stuff and there's a whole bunch of water for people, and that would be pretty useful for the people here, you would think.
Is all this water for sale?
Some of the supply goes to the trading post, of course, but yes, most of it's for sale. Anyone who wants water on Eladon has to come here. There is very little elsewhere on the planet.
Okay.
I'll let you get on with your work.
Have a lovely day.
Oh, that guy's oddly polite compared to everyone else that we've encountered thus far. No. But we can scan you, even though you're definitely not a, or at least you don't appear to be a scavenger.
Tried the flop house. They shot at me.
Again, they're called scavengers, and yet we can't scan them, so there's definitely some inconsistencies there. What is the deal here, though? What is this stuff? Mushrooms! I feel like we've seen enough of the scavengers in this area to suggest that we are supposed to finish that just from finding people around here.
She raised the water prices again. Swear I'll kill her.
But
Tried the flop house.
I guess there's another area over there. Potentially, right by where we parked. Is there actually any people here, though? At least a little bit. Scannable people, now that's a different question. Not sure what those things are. Okay, now I will admit that at this point I have no idea where the remaining people would be. I have no idea. Unless we can go a little bit further in this direction, we might be able to do that.
Lucky the paradise has shade.
So we've not quite gone all the way over here yet, I don't think. Gone this far? Maybe, but
Temperature levels are climbing, Pathfinder. Environment.
Here.
Nice. That thing got new parts?
Why? You gonna follow me out there and steal it?
Yeah. I am.
Oh. I mean, at least she's honest about it. Alright, I was kind of hoping there'd be more scannable people here, but apparently not. So I'm not really sure in that case if there are actually enough scavengers here to complete the quest in this location. We just haven't found the right people for some reason, or if maybe there's some that show up later after you've done other things and those people you scan and then you're good, or if you have to actually go to one of the other locations where there are probably still scavengers, but, you know, do they count? And then that's how you actually finish it. I just don't really know. So it seems like we've basically explored the entirety of this section here. Oh, there's now something else here? What is this? Oh, that is the scan people one. It is leading us, I mean, that's at least the icon is directly on top of the shop where we were previously. I don't know how much to read into that in truth, because we did, of course, go in there and try to scan everyone that we could in that spot, and yet didn't do enough to... Yeah, I mean, that would seem to suggest that we are supposed to finish that here. Who knows? Who knows? Not I. But yeah, I mean, that bar is like, what, 80% full at this stage, so there's probably like 2 people in that building that we just didn't see before. Maybe it's worth a quick double check to see if we can find them.
Nice gun.
Like, there is an icon here, obviously. That's actually going to lead us to the specific person we are currently missing. I have no idea. Oh.
Not a scavenger, right?
Well, you're not a scavenger. Oh, the roof? The roof is on fire? There is, in fact, a roof. That changes everything. I did not realize there was a roof. I did not realize there was a roof.
Not a scavenger, Ryder.
Doesn't mean I won't try. Oh.
I'm gonna mess you up when we get out of here.
Yeah?
That
You
one
messed me
didn't
up. You're
work.
never seeing
Try
those star
someone
charts
else.
again.
What?
Thanks, Ryder.
I actually did it.
That should be enough. I'll analyze this and let you know what I find.
That actually did tell us or takes us to the right
I
place.
hid those charts. You kill me, no chance you're leaving this hellscape.
And I'm gonna kill you right here.
Oh, maybe
I
don't
just
do
told
that,
you I
please.
have your map. You're way off this planet. How are you so stupid?
Okay. You guys, you're guarding a door that we can't go through right now, it would seem.
Don't get any closer.
It's restricted. If we come any closer, they're going to try to pick a fight with us. Maybe. Possibly. Alright. It seemed like Lexi is going to do some things, and then later on might have a follow-up for us with regard to that mission that we just completed. Is what I take that to mean. And in that case, I think that means that we've basically done everything in the immediate vicinity here. But then we have, I mean, who knows? What? Hold on. What direction we are technically supposed to... Whoa, okay, yep. Well, understandably, there's a lot of ground to cover here. Looks like it's mostly in the northerly direction. So that's actually, I mean, just based on the bounds in which we are allowed to navigate, seems pretty square / rectangular. Doesn't look that big at first impression. I mean, if we've basically barely moved at all, we haven't even gone to Nomad at all yet, so not like we've been running around covering much distance, or driving around covering much distance yet, and still, I mean, not that this is a huge chunk, but it just feels like compared to some of the other planets, this might be on the smaller side. Thus far, Havarl probably has been the smallest planet that we've run into, but what, Eos and Vold probably on the larger side. Kadara, not really sure yet. That might be pretty big, but this seems small. And these, I mean, I am zoomed. Then again, I am zoomed way out. Then again, I was zoomed. Okay, maybe I take that back. Maybe that was just because I was zoomed way out. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.